Good morning. Now, members of the Fourth Estate, the event today is of great public interest, and that's why we called you here this morning. And you'll understand once I finish my remarks why it's of great interest. With me this morning, I'm thanked by the chair of the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission. That's Dr. David Oginde. On my right, Mr. Mohammed Amin, who is the Director of Criminal Investigations. And on my far left, there's Chief Executive Officer of the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission. That's Mr. Twalib Mbarak. I'm also flanked behind me by my team, led by the Vice Chair, Charity Kisotu, and the Commissioner, Mary Muyandi, and members of the Secretariat. In October 2022, the Public Service Commission, pursuant to provisions of Article 234(2) of the Constitution, embarked in the exercise of verifying academic and professional certificates of employees in the public service. The exercise involved the participation of all public institutions, save for those exempted under Article 234(3) of the Constitution. Those exempted are the constitutional commissions under Chapter 15 and devolved government. All public and private institutions of learning, including universities and tertiary institutions, and the Kenya National Examinations Council. These institutions were required to submit to the Commission lists of their graduates in their respective institutions in the last 10 years. They also to submit to the Commission lists of the in subsequent graduations in their respective institutions at the end of every calendar year. And they were to provide the Public Service Commission with access and verification credentials for online verification of prospective job seekers seeking candidates' academic and professional certificates. The Commission further directed all authorized officers in public institutions to undertake an audit of academic and professional certificates of all officers employed in the last 10 years, dismiss from service in accordance with the provisions of Public Service Commission Act 2017 and other statutory instruments any other officer found in possession of forged certificates, and continuously validate academic and professional certificates prior to any appointment and promotion, and thereafter file quarterly returns to the Commission. Reports so far received reveal that substantial cases of forged academic and professional certificates have been used for the award of appointments, promotions, or resignation in the public service. Most ministries, departments, and agencies with verified cases of forged or fraudulently obtained certificates have instituted disciplinary action, including termination of service for the affected officers in accordance with the law. But there was also notable inaction by some ministries, departments, and agencies. Some public institutions have allowed the offenders to resign or proceed on early retirement against Section 78 of the Public Service Commission Act and Regulation 69 of Public Service Commission Regulations, which stipulates that the Commission or any other appointing authority should not allow exit from the public service on account of fraud or conspiracy, where exit is aimed at avoiding anticipated or ongoing disciplinary cases, or where exit is aimed at avoiding outstanding liabilities owed to the public body. Further, the report indicates that many ministries, departments, and agencies have not completed the exercise due to factors beyond their control. The following institutions were targeted in the exercise, and there were 331. All ministries, state departments, and agencies were 52. All state corporations and semi-autonomous government agencies were 239, and all public universities were 40. Institutions that have complied are 195 out of 331 institutions. The number of officers found with forged certificates across various institutions are as follows. Out of the 53,599 cases referred to the Kenya National Examination Council by 91 public institutions for authentication, 1,280 were verified as forged. However, I hasten that the number is not final as the exercise is still ongoing and we expect to receive more cases. 195 MDAs, ministries, departments, and agencies, including universities and other tertiary institutions, have so far finalized authenticating certificates numbering 29,314. Out of these, 787 officers have been verified to have used forged certificates to procure promotion or redesignation, bringing a total of almost 2,000 plus of forged certificates and documentation. The report reveals the following as some of the most common types of forgeries on academic certificates: alteration of KCSE mean grades, forged KCSE certificates, that is, alleged candidates did not sit for exams but produced certificates required for appointment or employment. Fake certificates, submitted certificates disowned altogether by the alleged issuing institutions, and alleged candidates confirmed as not ever registered in the institutions alleged to have issued certificates. Certificate not belonging to the alleged owner. Faked names on the certificate in question, where the offender's name is different from the real owners of the produced certificates, and alleged candidates established to have never sat the alleged examination or registered as candidates, and forged bachelor's degree certificate, altered from second degree division lower to reflect second division or first class honors. In undertaking this exercise, the Commission observed the following challenges. Records relating to academic and professional qualifications are not digitized. Delayed feedback on requests for verification, high cost of verification, difficulty in reaching out to foreign institutions outside the country, and cases of implicated officers resigning or applying for early retirement before disciplinary action is meted. Following the authentication exercise, the Commission has guided as follows. Employment based on forged certificate is void ab initio, and such employment should be declared null and void from the date of appointment. Such persons shall not be entitled to any form of benefits, including pensions or unpaid allowances and accrued leave, and all cases be referred to the Directorate of Criminal Investigation and EACC for prosecution and recovery of monies owed and assets procured from these activities. Further, considering that the exercise was of national interest, geared to the general public good, especially in upholding the integrity of our training institutions and the public service in respect to academic and professional certificates, ministries, departments, and agencies that were yet to commence or finalize the authentication are directed to do so. The Commission has also provided guidance to ministries and departments and agencies on the initial disciplinary action against culpable employees as provided for in law, which includes dismissal from the service. As you are aware, forgery or falsification of documents to gain undue advantage against deserving Kenyans is a criminal offense, and it is for this reason the Commission has today brought on board relevant government institutions to handle matters that are outside its jurisdiction. Accordingly, the Public Service Commission is handing over here today the report on forged certificates to the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission and the Directorate of Criminal Investigation for the next phase of legal processes. Going forward, the Commission will also work closely with institutions of learning, the Commission of University Education, and relevant examination and professional bodies with a view to encouraging them to digitize their respective databases for effective and efficient interventions. Falsification of academic certificates has far-reaching implications on service delivery by public institutions. The credibility of our country's education system, the global competitiveness of our graduates at a time when the government is reaching out to various countries with a view to exporting labor, and most importantly, the economic development of our country. An officer who has secured appointment or promotion on the basis of fake academic qualification has no integrity at all and will definitely have a higher propensity for corruption. They must not, therefore, be entrusted with any public office or resources. It is also encouraged, and the Commission encourages the other service commissions which are under Chapter 15. This is the Judicial Service Commission, the National Police Service Commission, the Teacher Service Commission, and the Parliamentary Service Commission to undertake the kind of exercise that the Public Service Commission has undertaken. More so the devolved governments, because that might be where also there is a problem. So in conclusion, I wish to assure the nation today and the members of the public that the Public Service Commission will not relent until this tumor is removed from our society. Thank you for your kind attention. And now I'll hand over the report to the EACC and the DCI, and they will make their remarks.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Chair of the Public Service Commission, Vice Chair and Commissioners of the PSC, Director of Criminal Investigation, and my fellow colleague, Mr. Twalib, and all those colleagues who are here. This is a very important exercise because as the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, this is a matter that has been of great interest, and we have done our part in a small way to try and address this issue because we get a lot of reports from different sectors of government and even the private sector, complaints regarding people who have secured jobs using fake academic certificates. And as we have said before, this is a matter that we have to deal with. Nelson Mandela said that education is the most powerful weapon that can be used to transform the world. Education has been one of the greatest foundations for our nation to develop and help us to move forward to be in the league of nations that are developed. And so it is very important that we preserve the integrity of our education system and the certification that shows and indicates the level to which a person has gone through school and qualified. When that is undermined, then we undermine the whole foundation of our society, development, and our place in the global arena, just like Chair has already said. And so this is something that we as the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, having received this report from PSC, we are going to do our part in investigating, determining, authenticating the report that is of those people who have gone through this process, and then take necessary action. And as the Chair has said, and we have also said before, anybody that is found culpable will have to bear the consequences of their evil, including forfeiting anything that they gain that they may have accrued over the period of time that they have served under that fake certificate. So we want to thank the Public Service Commission for this initiative that sounds very thorough, very systematic, and we agree with the chairman that the ultimate solution lies in digitizing our academic records and making them accessible to any institution that seeks to employ or procure any services so that they can quickly authenticate and know that this person is presenting good documents, relevant documents for the job that they are seeking. So we believe that all agencies that are concerned, we can work together to ensure that this digitization creates a central database where any employer, whether in public or in private, can quickly access and authenticate that document which you are presenting to them, and therefore give legitimate people legitimate jobs, promotions, and any benefits that accrue from possessing any academic certificate. So ours is briefly, Chairman, to thank you together with your team for undertaking this very great exercise, and we'll take it up and collaborate with you in ensuring that it is brought to its logical conclusion and that our nation is rid of men and women who want to take shortcuts to getting to places where they ought not to be. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The Chairman, Public Service Commission, Ambassador Anthony Muchiri, the EACC Chairman, Bishop David Oginde, all other protocols observed. Good morning. I am delighted today as we gather here for this noble exercise of handing over the report of the validation of academic and professional certificates used to secure appointments and promotions in the public service by the chairman of the Public Service Commission. This is indeed a momentous occasion which I deem a win for Kenyans who demand efficient and effective service delivery from our public servants, which I believe can only be delivered by those qualified for the job and not those who use forged academic and professional certificates to secure their respective employments. Allow me, ladies and gentlemen, to commend the chairperson of the Public Service Commission, Ambassador Anthony Muchiri, for undertaking this difficult but noble task that will go a long way in restoring integrity in our public service. In general, ladies and gentlemen, the effects of hiring unqualified employees, it decreases our productivity and performance, while it also lowers the quality of our work, negative impact on team morale and engagement. Increased training and supervision costs damages our reputation and customer dissatisfaction. Hiring unqualified employees can have a very significant negative effects in organizations across various aspects of the operations, and thus, like the chairman has said, exposing our country into economic insecurity. In the year 2023 and this year, the DCI has investigated a total of 23 cases of alleged forgery of academic and professional certificates and those of unqualified persons who are masquerading as professionals in their respective fields. This is indeed a clear indication that the problem is rampant, and it is high time that all organizations take a cue from what the Public Service Commission has done today and act on employees with bogus academic and professional certificates. This fight, ladies and gentlemen, cannot be won by one agency alone. We all need to join hands in order to arrest this menace and ensure meritocracy in the recruitment and promotion of all public service employees. Allow me at this juncture to reiterate my commitment and dedication in terms of effectively pursuing the mandate of the DCI and assuring that we are going to play our part diligently in accordance with the law and take appropriate action against all the culprits. In this regard, we are also seeking the cooperation of the ministries, departments and government agencies involved to cooperate with the DCI in terms of the expediting of our investigations. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, let me thank the chairperson of the Public Service Commission for this commendable work, and as the DCI, we shall be ready to make sure that the exercise produces the intended results. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you. The chairman PSC, the chairman EACC, the DCI, Mr. Amin, the vice chair PSC, Mrs. Kisotu, commissioners, colleagues from the EACC, our partners from the PSC, DCI, and the media. I don't have to talk a lot, but I need to focus on several issues regarding this current problem facing this country, where it has become almost a norm in any government entity to find some crooks getting employed using fake certificates or genuine certificate, but they are not owned legitimately by the person possessing it. And the example here is we have cases, Chairman, where you find somebody has got a genuine degree from a university, but he used a fake Form 4 certificate to get admission. Somebody having a genuine degree, but he has used a relative certificate, Form 4 certificate, to gain entrance to the university. The main problem here, first of all, we would really like to thank the PSC, being the agency that is mandated in the employment of all public servants, that this is a very good step forward. Because, as the DCI has said, why should you get employed not through merit. When we entertain usage of fake certificates, we are entertaining a problem transcending the country. When we start using fake certificates, the message outside there is that don't rely on the Kenyan certification system. People use a lot of bogus certificate. You are undermining the education system of this country, which is currently very reputable and respected. So when we get hold of you through the vetting and authentication by agencies, my brother, the DCI, will look at the forgery aspect. Us will even do the forgery aspect, and will try to recover the money you have been paid. We have those cases before court, and we shall recover the money that you have been paid for all that time, and there will be the criminal aspect about it. But most important is that we need to ask ourselves, why is this problem now becoming very prevalent? Don't tell me it's because there's scarcity of jobs. When you tell me that, you are telling me that if you don't have enough money to buy enough food, go and steal to another, enter into your neighbor's house and steal, and it's allowed. There is nothing like that. If you don't qualify for a position, you don't qualify for that position. You are fit for a grade E in the public service, go there with your certificates. If you have an E, show it, it's an E. If you have an A, show it's an A. If you have a degree and lower, it's a pass, sure, that I have a degree, it's a pass. There's no problem with that. But when we allow that, the main problem, and Chairman, this is something that you need to know, this problem is encouraged by senior officers in all those entities. If it is county, you find the governor is the culprit. He even goes and tells the young men, tafuteni makaratasi ya uongo River Road, mulete muandikwe kwa sababu mulinifanyia campaign. It has happened. So you can see a whole governor encouraging young people to commit a crime. Or if you are head of a state corporation, na sasa unajua mimi hapa nimekuwa kubwa na nataka kulift watu kutoka kwa village yangu, leteni makaratasi hapa. The recruiting officer is told, look at the other side, let this young man get employed. But the message to us is very simple. You get employed. I know we have limitation in terms of resources, but when the DCI, when the ESCC, when the PSC get hold of you, there are two aspects there. The criminal aspect, you will end up in jail, and second, whatever you have been paid, ESCC will try to recover. So that is the way it is, and Chairman and your team, we are very thankful, and thank you for inviting us, because you are showing the public that after you have done your job, the enforcement agencies will take over. The other thing that we request, especially to our members of parliament, we need laws to be amended on how to deal with this kind of problem. Because right now, as ESCC, when we get hold of people with fake certificates and we charge them before court, you find a case is taking 3 years. For us as investigators, it took us half a day to check with Kenya National Examination Council that your certificate was fake. But by the time we prepare the file to the DPP, it goes to court. It takes years for it to get concluded. So we want laws that agencies like PSC, given those kind of powers, that they can give a sort of a summary and is taken to court, and a ruling or judgment is given immediately. Because without that, this problem is increasing, and we need a better way of making sure that there's proper deterrence and prevention of those who may think of doing or committing the same offense. So with those remarks, I think Chairman will go through your report. I will coordinate with my brother, the DCI, and we decide to do this bitter cake. Which portion are we going to take and which portion is he going to take, and we'll work on it. And we are very thankful for the commission. I think we shall write to them as ESCC to tell them through your office that we need a proper verification exercise of the academic certificate, and we want the returns from them. If they do coverage, the chair or the CEOs of those commission, we shall get hold of them. Thank you very much.
Very good. Maswali?
Yes. Sorry for that. For the question of the governors about the academic certificates, we are still pursuing them. We are still following them. Like you understand, the one for Nairobi is also passing through another jurisdiction, and that one takes time. You see, the most important thing is to get the hard evidence. When we rush through sensationalism of the media and the hyping by the public, we may go wrong. The cases are still active. The other question that you asked was about my friend said about the 2,000 cases. Yes, these cases are many, and that is why we are looking at what is the key problem of this issue. One of the biggest problems is that 20 years ago, many countries adopted what you call security-proof certificates, where they are marked like the logbooks that we have. They have a computer mark. Here in Kenya, until recently, the government printer was still printing certificates that if you get one from River Road and the government printer, you can't tell which is the genuine one and which is not. So while we are doing this kind of activities of trying to verify, we need other players to come on board. Otherwise, you will be trying to put a fire and there's another guy that is just leaving the fuel, adding fuel to the fire. So what we are saying here, we need an integrated system of addressing, and it's not only certificates, even government receipts. Today we have a problem in land's office. You have somebody with land and there are 3 titles, 4 titles. They go to court and spend years to determine who is the owner. If we had tamper-proof, security-proof documents, which is the way forward through automation, most of these things will be history and will be having very for the DCI. It is ongoing in court as we found our own investigation on the
one more. I'm working together.
You don't mention the individual. It involves so many people. Unless I know, I can tell you from northern Kenya. And most of you, when you target something, you look at the clan and whatever. Yeah, so I worked in the Northeastern as a military man. I worked in Mandera. I worked in Boni Forest. Before you were born, where were you in 1995? Were you? Oh, but I told them, most likely I told them. And then I've worked in Mandera, Garissa. So I know sometimes in northern Kenya, when people bring names instead of issues, I know the focus is clan. Don't look at the attorney, look at the telecom file. The telecom file is ready. We studied the DPP, it was brought back to EACC to do some few cover points. And the case is ongoing, still under investigation.
Now, we cannot mention individual names of those who have been found to have forged certificates, because that will preclude the investigations by the EACC and DCI. You will see them when they are brought to court. That's number one. Number two, the highest institution with forged certificate is the Ministry of Interior. Also because it has the highest number of employees. The other institution is the Geothermal and Development Corporation. That's at Aparastato under the Ministry of Energy. And the third one, which should put a worry in all your faces, is Kenyatta National Hospital. This is a health institution. And the fourth one with the highest number of forgeries is Moi Teaching and Imparo Hospital. This is another health institution. Those bear greatest responsibility in the number of forgeries. The other question is the people who have exited after being discovered with these certificates. They will be pursued. That's why the DCI and the EACC is here. They will be pursued to the ends of the earth. That money will be recovered from them, and the legal process of incarcerating them will take the day. Any more questions?
Yes.
One more to DCI. Where are we regarding the issue of
Thank you very much. The issue of Kelvin Kangeti. It's unfortunate that after we made laborious efforts to apprehend him, that through circumstances yet to be determined, Kelvin escaped from the police custody, Orenga police station for that matter. But so far so good. We have progressed very well, and we have, as of today, arrested 2 people who we suspect facilitated the disappearance of that fugitive. So in the fullness of time and very soon, we should be able to apprehend him and also take action against all persons who aided or abetted the escape of Kevin from lawful police custody. Thank you.
Yeah.
Are you of the idea or thought that he should prosecute full cases and also the one who like another also like a comment from
Don't you see we look alike?
Well, the mandate of the DCI is very clear, and the mandate of EACC is very clear. We have been vested with the responsibility of criminal investigations. And by virtue of officers of the National Police Service, we have been empowered by law to investigate and enforce all the laws and regulations within our republic. So nothing would stop the DCI from investigating the report that has been submitted to us by the chairman. And nothing also would stop the EACC from investigating. So who is to investigate what? Those are administrative issues that we shall discuss between the 2 agencies. Otherwise, there isn't any issue of roll call.
Bless you all.
Swali kubwa linalosalia sasa ni iwapo wote waliohusika na kugushi makaratasi haya na kupata ajira katika afisi za serikali na hata hivyo za kibinafsi, iwapo watawajibishwa kwa mujibu wa sheria kufuatia vyeti vyao gushi. Nikiripotia Moredia kutoka katika tume ya kuajiri wafanyakazi wa serikali hapa jijini Nairobi, jina langu ni Ronnie Regan.
Moredia 88.2 FM. We are in charge.